jail. It's the SOGOpod.
I'm Kinder.
And I'm Frank.
And welcome back, everybody, to the SOGOpod. We've been gone for a while, but we are back and hotter than ever. Yeah, we're the sluttiest podcast around.
We're in the same room and we're jacking each other off.
At this very moment. All right, guys, so we have been gone a while. We have an excuse. Keep jerking. Just keep going. We have
Picking
an excuse,
it up on
though. I had a baby, and by I mean my wife. Had a baby girl.
A little baby girl.
Little baby girl. She looks just like me, and she has a receding hairline and blue eyes. That's as far as it goes.
Wait, are you sure it's not my baby?
All right. You have hazel eyes.
No, I have green eyes.
Well, now that everybody knows that.
Yeah.
We're looking for a white male with the...
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about serial killers, so, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all I could say to that.
So we're going to pivot the podcast once again into serial killers.
There we go.
Talk about serial killers.
Speaking of pivoting the podcast, I know you're all sick and fucking tired of Overwatch talk on the SOGOpod, but I'm not, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually in talks with a friend right now to start up a new podcast under the SOGOpod banner focused on Overwatch and shit about it. As far as the name goes, I think we're going to call it Fragging Out, Not Your Daddy's Overwatch Podcast.
Why don't you call it Do It Frag It?
Do It Frag It? That'd be a really great first title.
Right.
I'm saving that one. Fucking marker.
Open up that text notepad.
So be looking for that. We still haven't opened up our fucking Patreon because we can't stay fucking committed enough to getting this podcast out in time to warrant doing it. So
don't worry, SOGOpod's not the only podcast suffering. It's we have some issues over at the Butts and Seats headquarters getting podcasts out. We had issues relating to hosts of the show having personal life emergencies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, and babiys. So, it's always babies and personal stuff. That,
And in some cases, vacation, Frank.
Yeah, well, okay, listen. When I went on vacation, I didn't know you were going to have your baby literally right afterwards. Like, on our way back, I'm going to the hospital.
So, that's why we had a fucking unintentional hiatus right after fucking E3.
Right, yeah. The most important time for video games. Granted, thankfully, not a lot comes out after E3.
Right.
A lot of boring shit comes out.
Dead air.
Dead air. So we're a good time to take a break. We can talk about E3, I guess. So we didn't really get a chance to talk about E3.
Everybody's already talked to death by now, I'm sure.
Right, yeah.
But we do have something.
Happened.
Yeah, E3 happened. It was pretty gay. Except for Metroid, Nintendo fucking won. That's game over. Go home, everybody.
Go home,
GG.
everybody. And then Nintendo repeatedly shot themselves in the foot for the period after E3.
Yeah.
Like, look at all this goodwill we earned. What can we do to destroy it? I know. How about we make people have a cell phone app to talk to each other in the video game?
Fucking Discord exists, Nintendo.
It already exists. A well-done app that, guess what? You can do it in the background.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave your phone open the entire time.
I think you can even turn the screen off completely and just fucking let it go.
Yeah, not theirs. No, the moment you leave that app, the call's gone. But
dumb.
Thankfully they let you reconnect if you log back in.
Oh.
So thanks, Nintendo.
Although Nintendo has had its highs and lows, we got a sneak preview of the SNES Classic lineup. A long, fully fucking packed with some of the greatest games of all time, including one we'd never played before, Star Fox 2.
Yeah, and if they had just announced it at E3, we would have done pretty much straight down the line on our E3.
But that's like using a nuke to take out lemmings, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they pre-taped that stuff, so, but they maybe had some inside knowledge ahead of time, like,
I don't know.
These two guys aren't going to have that much. So if we just say the words Metroid, people will freak the fuck out, and we'll be good. And we'll say it twice.
Right.
I'm
actually really hyped about the 3DS Metroid, though.
Yeah,
it looks so good.
I mean, the developer, you could, use a little bit of, I don't have much faith in the developer. They put out, a really bad Castlevania game. I believe they did the...
Oh, yeah. That game actually got a lot more hate than it deserved, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would have gone with somebody like WayForward or somebody like that, but maybe they just didn't want to spend that much money on it.
Yeah.
And it also explains why they were so vigilant on shutting down AM2R, that another Metroid Prime 2, another Metroid 2 remake that was out there for a while. Like, the guy basically redid the entire Metroid 2, which was a Game Boy game for those people who don't know.
And I actually played it recently.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I'm kind of hyped. It was a good game.
And of course, you can still find it if you know the right places, and it's not that difficult to find. But they shut down the development of it and everything like that. And at first, everybody was just like, "Oh, this is fucking stupid. You just want to shut down this guy. He put so much effort in this," and it's really because we're working on it.
Yeah, we're fucking
down,
going, dude. Chill,
chill out.
Come on, go on.
So yeah, it'd be cool to finally actually get to because if you never play the Game Boy Metroid, then there's a whole aspect of the Metroid story that you just don't know because of that one game.
And excuse me. Aside from that, I mean, Nintendo's just been killing it with everything, except for the latest debacle. Yeah. Splatoon 2 looks fucking amazing. We got a new great waifu and a new terrible waifu.
And then there's also ARMS. Has that nice big bootied black girl with the hair that punches people. Weaponized hair.
The literal perfect ass that someone took and used the Fibonacci sequence to determine that she had a literal perfect ass.
Sort of like Donald Trump. I've seen that of the Donald Trump in the tennis outfit. Let me see that Trump pussy. Come on.
Oh man. But outside of Nintendo news, a subject that used to be very near and dear to our hearts has come back for round 2. I'm talking about VR.
VR?
Yes,
VR has come too.
I haven't touched my Oculus honestly in like months. I mean, it has just sat there and fucking done nothing.
As expected.
Yeah. It sat there and fucking done nothing. I spent way too much on this thing to just not ever use it, but I now have a new reason to drag this piece out, and that is called Vertamate. It is a VR sex doll.
Hell yeah.
And it looks really fucking good. It's like, you know those really high quality like SFM type videos, Well, not Source Filmmaker, but like similar to that.
Yeah.
Like the really high quality porn that they use for ads on porn sites.
Yeah, this game will make you come 7 times.
Right, yeah.
As if I need to come 7 times. 3 at the most.
Yeah. It looks like those, but you obviously can control everything and fucking, dimensions and all that.
Right, yeah. And
it looks really high quality and really good. It's kind of like early development kind of thing, but still fucking VR waifu.
Yeah.
Like straight up. This is the killer app we've been waiting for with VR. Unfortunately,
more
I don't
have killer fap.
Oh! Unfortunately, I don't have VR Touch yet, but I do plan on getting it and testing this game out for you and me.
For you.
But we had a look at it, and you can adjust all the settings. Like you can adjust their breast size and fucking like ass size, and the most important things, and the only ones that matter. Like the size of their fucking everything, like it's a way better character creator than Skyrim ever was. Mm-hmm. And like, so that's kind of what it is. It's like a Skyrim in-depth character creator, except good.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, and you can fuck them.
I'll let that in. But so yeah, that's really what I'm looking forward to at the moment.
Yeah, well, as for news, it's been, right now Comic-Con's going on, so a lot of the news is focused on which comic book superheroes will be punching other comic book superheroes in the coming weeks. So when it comes to video game news, there's not really much to talk about.
Right.
I've still been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I've officially hit 100 hours.
Nice.
In PUBG. So that's my life.
I'm the same way with fucking Overwatch. I think I have 100 hours on one character.
Yeah.
Like it's that way now.
Yeah.
Fucking Tracer's been ridiculous. I really need to stop talking about Overwatch.
Yeah, let's
on
save that for your other
Save it for the other one.
Yeah, and then when I start my PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds theme
Right.
podcast.
Now's the time to do it.
Now's the time, yeah. Get in it while it's getting popular.
It's fresh.
I did, I had a bunch of money in my Steam wallet, and I was just like, I just want to fucking get rid of this money, spend it on something.
Right.
So I just started going through, and there's this game that had just come out in like the 20th. So, we're talking Friday.
Yeah.
Not that long ago. And, or Thursday, whatever fucking day.
It doesn't matter. It's this podcast time.
Whatever. On the 20th of July, it just came out. And it's called Next Day Survival. And it looks like kind of like a PUBG, but with more of the survival DayZ crafting kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's like super Russian, Eastern Bloc, stalker type look to it too. And there's bears. So it just looks like, it looked interesting, and it was only like $7. It's like $7. Right now, it's on sale. It's in early access, and it's on sale for 20% off of its regular price, which is only $10. So it's a $10 game normally, but now they have it for like $7.49, I think. So it's, and I haven't gotten to play it yet. I haven't installed.
I got this new game. I'm really excited to play it, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, basically. And like, it looked cool, and it was like, I just went through like the games that were on discount, and then I sorted it by like price low to high, and then I just started looking at all the ones that had positive reviews, and then have I heard of this? You know? And then I saw this other thing, and it was in my queue at some point too. So I was like, well, okay, if it's in my queue, that means Steam thinks I should play it. It's highly positive reviews and a bunch of and it was said it was popular right now. So I was like, okay, so seems like, let's go ahead and get it. Let's just see. I mean, maybe I'm getting in on something. Maybe I'm just getting a piece of crap Steam survival game. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm gonna check that out at some point. Again, anything to maybe draw me away from PUBG.
Right. I gotta find something to get me off of Overwatch. And speaking of which,
play PUBG.
I mean, it's pretty good. I have fun playing it with you.
Yeah, it is more fun with other people. I do play with a guy in the Laser Time community, Corey. He's pretty cool. So we did a duos couple of weeks back. Like, just hopped on. It was me and him.
You did duos with someone else.
Yeah, I did.
Oh. Okay.
I need people.
I need affection.
Well, I mean, you could always hop in and just,
tag team,
random match make with somebody. You could always do that if you wanted to. But it's just no fun.
It's
more fun to like use it as like a chat room.
Yeah.
While you shoot people, basically.
Right.
Like, it's fun in that sort of way.
But speaking of games that get me off of Overwatch, the one that's going to do it here pretty soon, Cuphead.
Yes.
I'm getting real hyped for it. It's looking really good. And we haven't really gotten a chance to talk about Cuphead by itself a whole lot. I kind of want to do that right now. I'm going to fucking gush right now a little bit on Cuphead.
Cuphead, yeah.
So,
Cuphead.
To start off with...
His head's a cup.
Yeah. So check this shit out. First of all, the guy's... His head's a fucking cup.
His head's a fucking cup.
And that blows my fucking mind.
Right.
Of course, my head's not a cup.
Right, yeah.
His is.
Yeah. I mean, if you took the top of your head off, took your brain out, it could maybe be a cup. Cup-like. His head's actually a cup, and it's got eyes.
And his fucking sidekick, he's named Mugman.
Yeah.
His head's a fucking mug.
His head's a mug.
Look at this mug.
Look at this fucking mug. This fucking Cuphead over here. You got fucking Mugman over here. Well, fucking...
Over here we got Big Gulp.
Over here, Big Gulp. Over here we got fucking...
Pop.
This is Diva Cup over here. That's what the women use for the periods.
Oh, God. Fucking Nuva Ring, man. Come on. That exists.
Diva Cup. It's this.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're fucking gross.
It is super gross. I mean, listen, it's a natural thing. Periods are a natural thing. But I'm completely okay with women disposing of tampons in the trash and pads and stuff like that. I don't give a crap. But that's
fucking just weird.
Gross. It's like,
it is weird.
It's gross.
This went into weird territory. Let's go back to Cuphead.
I want to talk about the Diva Cuphead. Diva Cuphead. Nerf this.
I went off this ride.
Mr. Bones' Wild Ride never ends. Let's talk about Cuphead. Yeah, looks amazing. We watched, like, a couple weeks back, about 15 minutes of footage from it, and they showed off all the level stuff that they had worked on.
Right.
Which they did a lot of good shit, because you gotta think, like, when they first said this game's coming out, it was just gonna be a boss rush game.
Right, that's exactly what I was about to get to.
Yeah.
And they showed a lot of boss fights to begin with, a lot of the animation stuff, and it looked really fucking good.
It still looked cool as fuck.
I mean, it's really fucking awesome. And then they, here recently, just kind of revealed that they added in some actual level gameplay.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much it kind of needed that until I saw it.
And it didn't look like, the most astounding platforming you had ever seen. Like,
no.
it looked like, what's kind of like a Cloudberry Kingdom, I don't know if you ever played that. It was like a Ubisoft, like the procedurally generated platformer, essentially. Yeah. And you could set it to like simple mode, and it was very simplistic. Here's some platforms, you run across here, these guys are shooting at you, you jump on them, that kind of stuff. And it looked like that. It didn't look like there was going to be anything like Mega Man level platform intensity to this or anything like that.
But there's things that we didn't see either. We saw a little bit of it, that there were power-ups and different sort of abilities that you could gain.
Yeah.
And all we saw were like the first couple that you could get, none of the really advanced stuff. There was like 6 or 7 slots. And that, I think, is going to add a big element to
the other aspect of it is that it is like Contra platforming. It's platforming, but it's also running and gunning. Like, so there's that aspect of it too. But it also still didn't look like the difficulty spike was going to be there for the platforming aspect. Which I hope that they keep the... Like, there's a part of me that wants this game to be hard as fuck, because I want every game to be hard as fuck because I'm a masochist, and,
Dark Souls for life.
Right. So, like, there's a part of me that wants that, but there's another part of me that wants this to be super accessible because this would be great for kids, Like, like, I could see Caden playing this or Damien playing this if it has that level of accessibility to it.
Right.
And like, I want you to be able to plug in that SNES controller. Like, I want the controls to be so simple that USB Super Nintendo controller you have will work perfectly with this game.
Right, like a Volgar thing, but easy.
Right, yeah.
He never did beat Volgar.
Fuck that game.
Fucking.
I love it, but
God, it is really good.
I feel like I could come back to it now with like fresh eyes, lived a hard life, much like a Viking.
Right.
Bring that aspect to it.
Well, now that we've gone through 3 Dark Souls, I think we might be ready for Volgar.
Yeah, I think going through all that experience is like, it's fucking easy. It's just annoying now. I can't land that jump.
Oh God, good times. But I mean, other than that, obviously, I'm excited for Ori.
The new Ori.
If and when it ever fucking comes out. Is there a release date? I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, but they showed off a lot of cool shit at that Microsoft press conference. I don't think we really talked about it because, like, you know me, I've actually kind of even lost any sort of like Sony fanboyism at this point. Like, just not having a PlayStation, just being such a PC-focused guy.
Right. And same with the Xbox. Like, I don't remember the last time I played a game on my Xbox.
Yeah. So it's just like we've lost sort of that fandom. But I can look at it and just fucking Microsoft. They even beat Sony. Like, and Sony had been killing it for the past few years. But they played it really safe this year and just showed like trailer after trailer after trailer. And yeah, that's fine. This is stuff that's coming. And they're kind of just like, if that's the cycle they want to get on, if they want to get on like, this is the year we show the trailer for everything you're going to get this year, and then maybe 1 or 2 things for next year.
Right.
And then they spend the whole next year being like, and this is what you're getting in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, if then that's what they basically start doing, then that's fine. But, I don't know. Microsoft's going to start planning around that. I feel like they did this year, in a way. They're just like, look, we're going to go so fucking balls out that they won't be able to counter us, so they're not going to even try. which is what it seemed like what happened. You know, like Sony could have countered Microsoft because they went well before Sony.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking like a whole day before Sony's press conference.
Right.
You know? So they were going, you know, so I'm thinking, you're thinking, okay, well, you know, Microsoft, they could, you know, they could do it. And then Sony just sort of shits the bed. So it's like, yeah, well, Microsoft gets it, you know, because Nintendo gets it for just being, you know, doing what we wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Being the best Nintendo that they can be.
They literally won E3 with a title splash screen.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah.
No gameplay, not even a picture. It was a word. You won it with one word.
It's the dichotomy of Nintendo, though.
It was a fucking mic drop. It was just like... Metroid.
So yeah, that's Nintendo doesn't. That's the dichotomy of Nintendo, though, is that you get the good with the bad. You know, you get like all their. You're just like, fuck yes, I love Metroid. It's like one of the best fucking games ever. And Metroid Prime is a great expansion of that franchise. And then you got fucking Mario Odyssey, looks dope as fuck. And Breath of the Wild was, if not, is one of the best games of this year, and may be one of the best games of all time.
I like how you said that real quietly.
Yeah, because I don't want to settle it because we don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it might be. But then you have to buy a little squid-shaped thing to plug into your phone, to plug into your headset, to plug into your Switch. It's like, no, stop.
The Japanese are many things. Apparently, engineers they are not. What happened to Gundams?
You look at the Switch, and it's a marvel of modern technology that they could shove a system as powerful as it is in something the size of an Amazon fucking Fire tablet, and then you're just like, voice chat.
Doesn't it have a mic on it?
It doesn't. What? Which is such a weird Nintendo thing. Like, they are known for putting microphones where microphones don't need to be.
Oh, Nintendo, never change.
Never change. Oh, please do actually change. Please.
Change for the love of Christ.
For the love of Christ. But they are a toy manufacturer. That is really what you got to realize about Nintendo, and that's what differentiates them from people like Microsoft, people like Sony, is that they make toys.
Right.
You know, and Sony and Microsoft, they make video game consoles. They make video games. Nintendo makes toys. Like, you know, that's a simple answer. They're fucking awesome games and shit, but they're toys. But yeah, Cuphead.
Nice segue.
Cuphead looks awesome. I don't know. I'm gonna play it, you know, because obviously it's coming to PC.
I've tried
Microsoft Store, I believe. Most likely, yeah.
And I've tried super fucking hard to get a Studio MDHR. Fucking hell, why is that a tongue twister? Studio MDHR executive or somebody. Fucking on the show.
Your fucking maid or your janitor.
Like,
I
anything.
clean Studio MDHR. There's one guy, he eats a lot of bananas. I found 4 banana peels in his trash can over Memorial Day weekend.
So that was pretty weird.
There was another guy, he stayed in the office till 9 o'clock at night, and he smelled like manure.
I even found one of the artists that just like did some panels for him, did some of the animation, and I went on this guy's fucking Tumblr and messaged him on Tumblr. I was like, "Look, dude,
please,
fucking, you're like nobody in this production. I fucking come on."
Me.
Like he only
they
did
must
like
have
a very
an intense
little bit.
because of Microsoft. I'm assuming they have like really intense PR, like control.
What the hell do you call that? Fucking.
Non-disclosure agreements. Yeah, a lot
NDAs,
of NDAs.
That's it.
Yeah, a lot of NDAs, a lot of stuff like that. But
fucking sucks, man.
But it's because of their relationship with Microsoft, because Microsoft's essentially publishing this thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's because they're publishing, and they're like, hey, look, you know, you can keep making your game, take as long as you want, but just don't fucking talk in those shitty fucking podcasts and blabbing about your fucking game and complaining about us. You know, you want to talk about another game that Microsoft announced at fucking the first E3 they showed the goddamn Xbox One. Below from Capybara Studios.
I forgot about that.
God damn, I want to play that game so fucking bad, but
We heard anything about it?
Last thing they said was, look, we're going to go dark on this game. We're working on it, but just don't ask us about it. Don't expect to see it until we want you to see it, because I guess they showed it way too early.
Yeah.
And this is the funny thing about this game. They put this out before Dark Souls came out. Like, they started working on this before Dark Souls came out. So that was one of the things the guy was talking about in an interview I heard with him. He was like, look, a lot of these ideas, they're in Dark Souls, yeah, but we came up with them before Dark Souls, you know? They've been in our game since the very beginning, and we worked on this game before Dark Souls came out.
Yeah.
So, which means they got them from Demon Souls. I mean, let's be serious. But, you know, like, or Kingsfield. Like, there's a part of me that wants to go back and play Kingsfield just to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very old Dark Souls game. But yeah, they're. I just want to play it. It looks so cool, but I also feel like, yeah, it looks cool. But you know what else looked cool? The Brothers EP Super Brothers EP Sword and Sorcery EP, whatever. Yeah, that looked cool. Cool looking art style.
I mean, at some point,
not
Dark
much
Souls
of a game there.
If you go far enough back in Dark Souls, at some point it just becomes medieval.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this looks like they.
And if you don't know what I mean by medieval, go search PS1 games play medieval. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
one of the best platformers on the PS1.
He's great. He loses his head. Can't remember his Deadmond.
I don't know. He tears his arm off and beats you with it. That's all
it's
you
like
need.
Sir Edmund or something like that.
Yeah, Sir something.
Sir Edmund McMillan or something.
Sir Vince McMahon.
Sir Vince McMahon. Sir Hunter Hearst. Let's see. There's not much in the way of news, like we said before. Trying to think of anything. Like, it's like going to be a short podcast because there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I'll have to edit this thing like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we are at about 27 minutes, so we are going to go on a short break and find you some fucking news.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
We don't like video games, and neither should you.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. While we were gone, we searched the interwebs for some gaming news. But before we get into that, got a couple of life things to talk about. You know, some weird shit. First thing, I went to go take a piss, right?
Yes.
And I forgot that I have a Band-Aid on my dick.
Why do you have a Band-Aid on your dick?
So, like, you're uncircumcised, so you probably get it.
Yeah.
You ever just, like, your pants rub on, like, your tip of your foreskin so much that it, like, gets raw and it hurts?
Yeah.
Like, it did that shit to me. And this has happened, like, 3 times in the past 2 months. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my work pants.
You wear
my
underwear?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I guess there's shitty underwear.
There must be
like,
shitty underwear.
Yeah, like, it was fine earlier today, and then...
I mean, what kind of underwear do you wear?
Boxer briefs, usually.
Okay. All right. Tight? Are they tight? Are they kind
Not
of loose?
real
Okay.
tight.
You need to get some tighter ones.
I mean, I can't wear too tight ones.
No, man.
I mean...
Your sperm count's fine. You have 3...
No, like, yeah, so I have a fucking Band-Aid on the end of my dick. I had to, like, get the shit off to piss.
Yeah.
I had to piss real bad, but the Band-Aid is really good.
It's a really good Band-Aid.
And that's some, like, really thin, pliable skin.
Yeah, it's
So I'm just sitting there,
skin.
like, I don't have fingernails either, so I can't get under the thing. So I'm
Right,
sitting there just like, fuck. So I had to move the Band-Aid out of the way like a pair of anime underwear. Like some fucking... and fucking, like, piss around the Band-Aid. And it just, like, pulled up around the fucking... the cotton part of the Band-Aid, so then it just, like, started wearing off. He just took the whole thing. So that's what I did on the brick.
Just left it right over and just tried to like maybe like
Balloon it
off. Yeah.
So that's.
I had a problem earlier this week where somehow one of the hairs from like not on my balls but from around my balls got tangled to one of the hairs in my asshole.
It's like gooch and asshole here.
Well, it just like felt like I had this sharp pain like right there in my crotch region. I'm like, oh, what is that? Ah! And then like I go to the bathroom and I'm like, oh, because I thought maybe it was like a bump that just appeared out of nowhere or something, you know, because it was just happened. And it's like all of a sudden this bump started hurting. But no, I go in there and I fucking reach down in there and it's just like a fucking thunk. You know, like yeah, just like I could just play bass on this.
That's an E minor.
Yeah,
bass solo.
There's just fucking like asshole hair tangled to my fucking like gooch hair, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Quality podcast entertainment.
Yeah, so that's my life.
So anyway, on the gaming news. So there was a writer for what was it, IGN?
GameSpot.
For GameSpot, and he got a lot of flack for talking about the Crash Bandicoot remake.
Yeah.
Being as hard as Dark Souls.
Yeah. The Dark Souls of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Right.
I played a heap of Crash Bandicoot back in my day, and
I think I beat every single one of them.
Right. And when I was
As a
younger,
kid.
like that was my first speedrun experience.
And I wasn't even like known for beating video games.
Right.
Like I didn't beat Mario 2 until I was in high school.
That was a time in my life where I was poor and my stepdad at the time didn't like video games.
Right,
so what I had to play to death. So like I had Metal Gear Solid and Crash Bandicoot. Like,
right. I borrowed a lot of stuff and I rented a lot of stuff.
Right.
So I didn't really have that problem.
He wouldn't even take me to rent stuff. He was one of those assholes.
Right, yeah. That's too much money. I gotta give my name to somebody. Put my name in the system.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
I fucking went to we went to Walmart for my birthday one year, and he was like, all right, pick a game.
Big spin that.
Yeah, like, I wanted to pick a game for my birthday, and he was like, fuck, go crazy.
From New York now.
Of course, I had played Metal Gear Solid 1 to fucking death, and I still hadn't played Metal Gear Solid 2 at that point. This is like 4 or 5 years after. Well, maybe not that long, but it was a ways after. And it was the Xbox release of it.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was the one I played. I could borrow it from you, actually.
Probably. But so I was like, I want to get this game. And he's like, what, you don't want to get a sports game like a real man? I'm like,
what's this game?
And he had like MLB The Show or something.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't. I had to like justify myself because he's like really super Republican.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, it's a military game.
There's guns.
Yeah.
What?
But it's like, and if you play Metal Gear Solid, it's not a military
I don't know, that looks like a woman on the cover.
Yeah.
Because I believe, the Metal Gear release had Raiden on the cover for.
I think this one actually had Snake because it was subsistence.
Oh, yeah.
But so I ended up getting that one, and it was fucking great, obviously, and I killed it to death. But getting back to fucking Crash Bandicoot, it was kind of my first speedrun experience. I remember the first time I beat the entire Crash Bandicoot 1 in under an hour.
Yeah.
My babysitter, it was this young.
Right.
We had a babysitter. Her name was Jenny. She was hot as fuck. But and I would always try to impress her.
Yeah, watch me.
So,
I can
like,
beat this video game in an hour.
Yeah, like, so I'm sitting in my room, sitting in my room by myself, fucking playing this fucking game, and I complete it. It gives me the completion time and all that, and I'm like, Jenny, I beat it. Check it out, I beat it in under an hour. And I made her come look at it, and she was like, oh, that's nice. I mean, this just goes to show you. I mean, the game couldn't have been that hard, or I just played it to death and got good at it.
Got good.
Yeah, like Sonic 2. Like, I went back and tried to play Sonic 2 like a year ago, and I was fucking terrible. But I used to speedrun that shit too.
Yeah. I mean, it's all point.
You used to know where like all the power ups and everything were. It's like
I can still get through the first level of Sonic 2 like that.
Yeah.
But anything after that, and I mean, I know every level because, you know, music cues, everything like that. But,
Right.
like, I still get lost in fucking Chemical Plant Zone, you know?
Yeah. The worst one for me is the oil zone.
That's Chemical Plant Zone, yeah.
No, Chemical Plant Zone's zone 2. I'm talking about the...
Oh, the one at the very end, like...
Closer to the end.
Yeah, closer to the end,
Yeah.
yeah, the oil... I think it's called, like, Oil Plant Zone.
something like that.
You should go to, while you have the computer up, go to chemicalplant.zone.
I think I've seen this. Chemicalplant.zone. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Fuck.
Oh, no. Well, thankfully. Something's battery's only at 25%.
That's my mouse.
There it is.
Yeah, I've seen this. Put the jam in the pickup truck. Smooth McGroove's thing. That was like a big Kite Comments thing. You put the jam in the pickup truck. You put the jam in the pickup truck. You put the jam in the pickup truck. But we're getting way off track.
Yeah.
So fucking Crash Bandicoot. So like this guy says it's fucking the Dark Souls of
Video
platforming.
games. It's
I guess.
like Dark Souls.
Yeah, and you know he got a lot of flack for it, but you
But
know,
then, of course, that also brings up the flack that he also got for not actually beating any of the games, which I could go either way on, like, oh, if you gotta review a game, you gotta beat it. I don't care.
yeah,
You know what a game is pretty much halfway through, and then if you like it, you'll finish it. You know, it's that
unless
kind of
it's
thing.
Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, in which case, you don't know for 30 hours, but then isn't that bad?
Yeah, or KOTOR 2.
Yeah, well, I never played KOTOR 2. I played first KOTOR.
You don't get a
KOTOR.
fucking lightsaber till like
Well,
it's
shoot,
like
I
20 or
bounced
30
the
hours
fuck
in.
off of KOTOR 1. Like, when we bought it, I played it for like an hour. Didn't stick with me at all. And I was just like, fuck this game. And then after not having anything to play, I was like, oh, I didn't play this, and put it in. And then it's like, oh, okay, now I
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Then it started to fucking click.
That's what happened to me with like Morrowind. You know, I've told you
Yeah.
that story like 5 times now.
It's the only thing he talks about.
All right. Me. He keeps going on about this guy named Vivek. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So I'm in the Nerevar.
He dropped his pants and said, I am the Nerevar. I am Sinistar.
Run, coward. Oh, I do have something to talk about.
Oh.
Okay, so we went to Chicago for vacation. We were in just going to various different places. We even drove up to Milwaukee because it's only 45 minutes from
Right.
Chicago. And then on the last day, I had been talking to Caden about it for a while, and thought for a second we weren't going to go. But there's what they claim to be is the world's largest arcade
Oh.
in Chicago. It's called the Galloping Ghost, and this place is fucking huge. So you know that picture I sent of the Metal Gear Arcade game?
Right.
That was in there.
Nice.
And this whole fucking place, it was just chocked full of every fucking video game you could ever imagine, including games that were never actually officially released. They had a Primal Rage 2 cabinet.
Nice.
They had a Killer Instinct 2 cabinet. So I'm assuming they just had like the ROM on a fucking board
Yeah.
or whatever and just had the cab. They made a cab for it. But still, they had cabinets, and they even had the fucking Beavis and Butthead arcade game,
Nice.
which was never released. And it was just like an official Beavis and Butthead arcade game. You know, like it never fully came out. They had like test runs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, this place was fucking full of fucking video games. And one of the things that I played, I don't know if it was because it's all in Japanese, but it was a fucking Castlevania light gun game, but it was like a light whip game.
Oh, nice.
You had like fucking looked like PlayStation Move controllers
Right.
almost, and you fucking swung them around and whipped fucking zombies, and
that's
like the
badass.
first boss fight was against death. So it's like it had to be a fucking Castlevania game.
Yeah.
Couldn't see, because they're not called Castlevania in Japan. You know, like they have all kinds of different names. You
I think it's just Vampire Killer.
yeah, it's a whole bunch of different, like Vampire Killer, Hunter, Dracula, you know, Curse, like those kind of things. They just changed the name like of every fucking game, but it's part of the Castlevania series. So I didn't know what the fuck this was. And then right next to it was the Silent Hill light gun game. I didn't get to play that one though. Yeah, those are fucking dope ass fucking place. I would love to be able to go back, but it's all the way in fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, there's no good arcades anymore. They're all barcades.
Yeah.
And if you want to take your kids to a fucking arcade, you can't. Because
Yeah.
my son loves old fucking video games. Like, he's crazy about them. You know, I played...
I wonder where he gets it.
I know. I played the fucking WWF Royal Rumble game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking
Is
awesome.
that the same one that I have on, like, the Genesis?
Yeah, the Genesis
So
one.
fucking
But,
good.
well, the one that they released on PlayStation, I think,
Yeah.
was the, like, basically arcade perfect port. But this was, like, the Genesis one was, like, the subpar, obviously,
Yeah,
compared to
kind of like the Generation X one I had. That's so fucking bad.
Yeah. A little bit of fucking Terminator, the arcade game. A little bit of fucking... I love the light gun games. The one game I wish they had, but they didn't have was Point Blank 2, which was at the Power Play in LaGrange. That was one of my fucking favorites, but they didn't have that one.
I really liked Carnival.
Oh, yeah, they did
that
have
was-
Carnival, but it wasn't working. They didn't have it on. Yeah.
Damn. I
was
would love to
playing
play that
that
again.
in a fucking game called Alien Invasion, The Abductors, or something like that, or Invasion, The Abductors.
Right. I bet they have that fucking... There's a Jurassic Park game, and it's not... There's one at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
But it's not it. There was one we played in Gatlinburg, Florida, and it was I think it was a Lost World game.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking good. It was a light gun game, but
Yeah.
it was so fucking... Like, the best light gun game I've ever fucking
Love
played.
light gun
It's so
games.
good.
Like it's the only, like, one of the last arcade games you can really make
Right.
nowadays, you know, like, because you can't get that experience in the home. Even with the Wii, you know, they didn't make good light gun games in the Wii, you know. And then
you can't
the
really do
arcade
it,
aspect of it too,
Yeah.
you know, like having scores and points and stuff like that helps too, you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
being in your house and not having to rely on quarters. Granted, they didn't have quarters here. This place, you just
Right.
paid $20. You go and you can play fucking everything for as long as you want.
Yeah.
You could go. The place opened at 11 o'clock in the morning, didn't close till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Damn.
So you could literally stay there for over 14 hours, just fucking playing video games. And like I said, they had more than enough to make it worthwhile.
Right.
You know, fucking every version of fucking Street Fighter. I had a whole row just for fucking Street Fighter. From
I would
Street
love to go
Fighter
to-
1 all the way up to Street Fighter Ultra 4.
I would really love to fucking go to a tournament at one of those big arcades like that, you know?
Yeah.
I would
there was a
fucking do
bunch of
shitty. I would
fucking
never-
FGC guys there just fucking, like, they came in around 4 o'clock in the afternoon and they just took over that Street Fighter road.
Yeah.
Just wearing it on their sleeves quite literally, like a dude was
Yeah.
wearing a Street Fighter shirt and fucking like hitting like every goddamn combo you could imagine. I'm just, you know, I'm not touching these guys.
You want to fucking go next game? Put a quarter on the fucking
Right,
thing.
yeah. Oh, you don't need that.
Matter of fact,
They
you
even
don't
had
need
the
this
fucking.
either.
They
Takes your
even
dignity.
had the Left 4 Dead arcade game from Japan there.
That was a thing?
Yes, and
know
I didn't
that?
actually get to play it because it looked confusing as fucking sin. It's like a fucking. There's a one sort of piece that's kind of like a half a controller almost that you kind of rest your
Right.
hand on. It's like one of those like word weaver type things.
Yeah.
And then there's a mouse. So it is a mouse and a keyboard essentially. And but it's a stand-up arcade game.
That was weird.
Yeah. So had to kind of be like, okay, it's in Japan, Japanese, and it's in Japanese. So I didn't even want to like begin to try and figure it out.
Oh man, I always said that if I ever won the lottery, I would open up a fucking arcade and make it just ridiculous. It's something I've always wanted to do. If I ever like just came into some ridiculous sum of money, it's just a thing that's dying, you know?
Yeah. It'd be like a really interesting thing to do because they seemed like they figured out how to profit off of it.
Right.
You know, they charge it is $20, you know, like that's a lot of money. And yeah, these people are in here from, you know, they can be in there from 11 till 2 in the morning and they can come back in anytime they want as long as they have their receipt.
Right.
But that's a lot of fucking money if you think about it. Because all you need is like, and because you're not, I mean, other than repair, and you have so many fucking arcade games, you can afford to just have a few not working.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
like,
mean, it's the definition of a turnkey operation. You just gotta pay your power bill pretty much.
right, yeah. So it's just like they figured out how to keep it alive and keep it going without you know, because most of these places like Power Play, towards the end, they started just upping the price of the tokens, essentially.
Right.
You know, they started being like, well, okay, it used to be you get like a quarter was a token. Well, now you get like 20 for $5,
Right.
you know, instead of, or not 20, you get like 15 for $5 instead of 20. So it's like, you know, they figure out how to like try to milk a little bit of extra cash out of kids and stuff like that.
Right. And, you know, at that point it becomes,
Yeah,
you
so
can't
it's like
use
one
a bunch
half
money
is like
thing.
a fucking Wii Joy-Con, like or sort of like a Wii,
we're back on the Left 4 Dead arcade
nunchuck,
thing.
yeah. And the other half's the got a mouse, like.
Yeah, that's literally a fucking Razor Death Adder mouse.
Yeah.
I can't believe that shit.
Yeah, and that's how you fucking play. But I was like, I can't figure this shit out. They also had a fucking Sega hologram.
Oh,
in
really?
there. Yeah, this thing is fucking weird because it was like basically it was playing like an FMV video,
Right.
but it was projecting it into this dome, so it looked like a fucking hologram and shit
That's
like
dope.
that. It was pretty fucking cool. They had a Star Wars. They had a Japanese Star Wars arcade game, which was like pilot the X-wing through the Death Star fight,
Yeah.
and you had another person who was your gunner. And so Caden was my gunner while I was piloting and also shooting. But yeah, you know, but the only problem I have with it is because it was $20. You had no desire to stay at one fighting game for one game for too long.
Yeah.
You just sort of like would start playing one, not feeling it, and you just walk away.
Yeah.
Like when back in the day, you had to just sort of finish it out because you
Right.
fucking paid your fucking money and you're gonna get your fucking money's worth. Here it was just like I gotta see everything. I gotta go to the next thing.
So much stuff.
Right, and I played a little bit of Guilty Gear they had set up. I played, they had like 4 or 5 King of Fighters fucking cabinets from like all the way from the old ones all the way to the 2 newer ones that came
Yeah.
out, 13 and 12 and 13, yeah.
That sounds like something I would fucking just love.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that it's a fucking 14 hours away or whatever in fucking Chicago, it's a great place.
We'll
if
have
you're
to-
in the Chicago area, go
We'll
to
have
the
to fucking
Galloping
just all
Ghost.
go like in a vacation
Yeah,
sometime.
like I mean, Chicago's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. I didn't get shot. As far as I know, no one died. No, it was pretty nice. You know, as long as you just like stay in basically the suburbs in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
You know, like going downtown's a fucking nightmare.
Obviously.
Other than the fact that like, because it's just traffic. It's just because like it's like okay, imagine, you know, the whole spaghetti junction in Atlanta where all these goddamn interchanges and exits and stuff and fucking 8-lane highways and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking nightmare to go through, but you gotta do it. And then you're also in downtown Atlanta. Okay, but now imagine all of that, but then people live like on those roads too. So it's like, oh yeah, on top of having to fucking get off at these exits and make these turns and stuff, there's also people who fucking live in this apartment building that's right here and like are parked on the fucking side of the road and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was chaotic, especially trying to be down there when it was fucking 4th of July and everybody was there to watch the fucking fireworks.
Oh, jeez.
It was just a badass fireworks show. And the Ferris wheel was awesome that we went on. There's a lot of cool shit in Chicago.
We definitely gotta fucking go on a trip like that. I really want to check this arcade out.
Yeah. I mean, shit, if that was the point, if we could get all of us to go, it could literally be me, you, and Caden and Damien, and let them all go disappear somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we would spend from
Spend the whole
11 till
fucking
2
day,
a.m.
yeah.
in that fucking arcade.
Just let Damien get a little bit older, you know, so he's old enough to like fucking stay up. you know?
Yeah. And then you gotta go get some fucking actual real Chicago deep dish.
Yeah.
A fucking real Italian beef.
Sneak him a beer, you know.
A fucking like, oh my god, the Italian beef.
Carly was talking about
It's my
this thing.
favorite sandwich in the world. It is literally just somebody just said, okay, well, we're gonna take some. It's basically like a French dip.
All right.
It's actually, in fact, it's pretty much a French dip, but they also put peppers on it, and there's no cheese. So it's just like they took the sandwich and said, "Bah," and they give it to you, dump it in fucking au jus and throw it at you, and you just fucking eat it, and it's messy and soggy, but it's amazing.
That does sound good.
Carly had a real authentic Chicago dog, and it turns out they're exactly the same as the ones you can get from Sonic.
Oh, really?
So everyone, if you want a Chicago dog, just go to Sonic. It's a lot easier. I thought the Sonic ones were cheap ripoffs. No, they're fucking exactly the same. They hit it. They nailed it.
It's kind of like somebody asked me not too long ago, some Yankee, and he was like, everybody talks about sweet tea down south. Like, what's so good about it? Because we have it up north, but it's not good. Like, it's not the same thing, from apparently. And I was like, you ever have McDonald's sweet tea? Yeah. It's pretty good sweet tea. Well, fuck.
Yeah. That's probably the best fast food sweet tea.
Yeah, like, it's
of all the things
close to
McDonald's
Southern
has,
sweet
like,
tea.
co-opted from the South, be it the chicken biscuit or the chicken sandwich, they hit the sweet tea out of the park.
Yeah.
They can never, a McDonald's chicken sandwich will never compare to a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Never. It's the fucking brining and pickle juice, man. I'm telling you.
It's the best part.
Oh, God, so I want a fucking Chick-fil-A sandwich now.
It'd be so good. Tomorrow's Sunday, though, so you can't even get it tomorrow.
Bless it.
God bless him.
Gosh darn it. Oh, my mouse is dead, so good luck stopping this podcast.
All right, well, that's about it for... Actually, that is about it. There's nothing else to talk about.
Sorry, guys. I know it's a fucking dull
I know we made
show.
a big fucking deal about being back and making another podcast, but we kind of picked the worst time to come back.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing's
even all the
happening.
fucking news sites are just dead as
There's
fuck.
a few video games that have been announced at EVO. That's about the only other thing. There's a couple new fighting games. Turns out they're making fighting games. That's
Go
about
figure.
it. Go figure. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter Z still looks dope as fuck.
Oh, man. I watched a thing.
The only thing I have a question about, and this is like, because the best part about the Budokai games was that you could fucking Super Saiyan any fucking Saiyan you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and you could goddamn make anybody Super Saiyan level 3 you wanted to. You know, all you had to do was have the right, you know, as long as they were Saiyan.
Yeah.
You could fucking transform to whatever version of Cell you wanted to. You could transform to whatever version of Frieza you wanted to. That's what I want, you know? Like,
But I don't think that's the direction they're
that's
going.
not the
with that.
direction they're going, I know. And Xenoverse can't even get... That's the thing, like, Xenoverse, one of the aliens you can play in Xenoverse is a Frieza type.
Yeah.
But you can't transform.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
That doesn't make sense. I didn't like Xenoverse anyway, though.
It looks interesting. Maybe Xenoverse 2.
Xenoverse 1, at least, is just not fun.
Yeah.
My brother's
Might
playing
be sort of
Xenoverse
thing-
2. It looks pretty cool.
Might be the sort of thing I pick up and maybe get a refund for if I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, that's going to be it for the SOGOpod, guys. Don't forget to go to facebook.com/SOGOpod. We don't do much there, but go do it anyway. Twitter at the SOGOpod. That's where we're the most active. SOGOpod.com. That's our website, obviously.
Yeah.
And we do have a Discord. It's dead. It's on our website. And don't forget to look out for our second podcast coming soon. Fragging Out, Not Your Daddy's Overwatch Podcast. I'm fucking calling it now. That's going to be the title.
You should call it Not Your Soldiers 76's Overwatch Podcast.
That would be also good. That'll be my screen name. I'm Daddy76. Get off my lawn. That's one of his lines.
Heroes never.
Alright, guys. That's going to be it. Later.
Peace.